Mukesh Bhatt honestly is like a father figure to me. Controversies will always be there. Hi, this is Jacqueline Fernandez and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.
You've had a murder too, which was a commercial success. In Bollywood, having a commercial success, I think, is a big deal because obviously you're looked at in a totally different light altogether. Now you're having Houseful 2 and all. But there's a flip side to it as well. You were linked to Sajid and all those things, marriage and blah, blah, blah and all that jazz. Does it upset you? Does it bother you?
It's very difficult. I think, I'm still trying to figure out how to deal with it, And, at times like that, you feel really alone because you don't know who can kind of understand your problems, or you feel like everyone's against you, the world's against you, the industry's against you, and you don't understand why people try to make things so difficult for you. A lot of people just tell me that, look, it's not just you. You've got to understand that the biggest superstars go through this. Controversies will always be there. Shahrukh Khan goes through it. So, who are you? So just it's something you've got to put up with if they can put up with it.
How do you just vent out your stress and you continue to just give out this 1,000-watt laughter and everything? Because I'm sure that there must be tough times. And
of course.
How do you just come out of it? And is it the work that gives you the high, friends and
Yes, I think it's a combination of things. I've always been a very high-spirited, positive kind of person, and there are times I feel that that slowly starts dying, and it slowly starts getting sucked out of me. And I think you've just got to be a fighter. You've got to have you've got to kind of battle with your demons, and you've got to tell yourself, okay, look, I'm not going to come out of this a loser. I'm not going to let these people get the better of me. Who are these people? I'm going to come out of this a winner. I'm not going to let anything affect me. It's all, I think, this mental battle that you've no one else can do it for you. No one else can they can maybe make you laugh momentarily or take your mind off it momentarily. But you're the only one who can really fight this battle, and it's a huge mental thing. So you've just got to keep telling yourself that you've got to fight this and you've got to come out of it, because it's very easy to slip into a depression, very easy. And I've almost gone there, and then I'm like, wait a minute, this is so not me. I'm such a I'm a much brighter person than this. I'm a much smarter person than this. So no way will I let this get the better of me, and I'm just gonna keep doing my thing and be myself.
You just opted out of Ras 3, and Mukesh Bhatt he reacted in print about it. How do you deal with this situation, because they've given you your first big hit and all?
Yeah, and for that I'll always be thankful. For that I'll always be indebted to them. And honestly, when I read that stuff, I wasn't hurt at all, because Mukesh Bhatt honestly is like a father figure to me. Every time I walked into that office, it was like, beta, what do you want? Can we fix you this? Advising me on certain stuff, and I would really talk to him. If he had a problem with you, he'd tell it to you, and he'd obviously share it with other people as well, because he's already spoken at his piece with you. And I know that when I see him, things will be absolutely normal as well. We actually even talked about it when we had our differences about the script and the role and how it was shaping up, and I was like, I need to just be really honest with you, and I don't think this can work. He was like, look, I need that, because I need to see who else I can move on to, and I need to figure that out fast as well. And he was like, let's not make a big deal out of this though, because end of the day, we could end up working together again. We could, we've always had a great memory shooting for Murder 2. And I don't ever want to spoil that. Nothing, no article in the paper, nothing will come in the way of that. So Mukesh Bhatt will always be this lovely person in my memory, always.
One thing which we've been reading in newspapers, in fact, has been about the clothes and this and that it should be glamorous and stuff like that. When we see the promos of Houseful 2, I think you're looking very glamorous.
Yeah.
And you don't have to really be skimpy to look glamorous. You can still look glamorous and I think nice the way you're projected, in fact.
Exactly. Okay, that's a completely, important point which you pointed out. People, for some reason, it's really sad that how some girls get so exploited sometimes, and they're made to do it for the hell of doing it, and okay, we need this shorter, we need this showing, and it's like, but you have to have class, if you want things to look cheap, go ahead, but honestly, I think the glamour quotient comes out when the girls are actually looking classy, and that comes from being well stylized, it doesn't mean being skimpy, it doesn't mean that, it actually just comes from having good taste.
Absolutely.
And so that was all, something that I was glad with Houseful, that, it's such a stylized movie, so people got to see that you don't need to be overtly skimpy, okay, to grab eyeballs. And, coming back as well to, what you were saying, that every single article, everything I ended up doing after Murder 2 was opting out of Raz, or if it was, not signing this, or if it was whatever it was, everything was linked to me not wanting to expose anymore. And me being on this remote control and me being told what to do. And it was like, no, that's a personal thing of mine. It's basically I've done a Murder 2. So there was room for exploitation. With producers and directors after that. And I had to take a stand, otherwise who else will? But media just wanted to run along with the story and include names and bring people who were not necessarily needed to be brought into it and just make this completely different turn. But what they didn't understand was, and I guess what the audience also never understood was, this was my conscious decision to not be exploited, myself, and to move on, which is why, end of the day, it's my career, and I can only do what's best for my career.